Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered to the four corners of Yah's great earth. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. To yet another lesson in the Most High's holy word. We will be doing Exodus 16 today, family. I praise the Most High Yah for allowing us to see another Sabbath day, to learn more about His word, to get more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Father, may you continue to do that to the people that are actually following you, not these fakes and frauds that are around who say with their lips they follow you, but do wicked things behind your back. Even though you still already know what they do anyway, so we're not really doing anything behind your back because you can see it all. You got 360-degree vision. Now, brothers and sisters, let's get something straight before we even touch Exodus 16. This Bible, again, for all the newcomers, is our book. It's about us. The true Israelites, the Negroes scattered to every damn corner of the earth, from the tribes torn through the Atlantic slave trade, to the ones trampled under colonialism in Africa, to the ones suffering in Brazil, the Caribbean, Europe, and everywhere else. This ain't about no damn Europeans, no fake Jewish imposters, no watered down Christianity that tells you all nations are equal under Christ. Nah. This book is about Israel's struggles, Israel's rebellion, Israel's discipline, and ultimately Israel's redemption. And we're about to see in Exodus 16 that our people ain't changed one damn bit, family. The same hard-headed, ungrateful, stiff-necked spirit that Israel had in the wilderness is still in us today in 2025. And we're going to break it down raw, brutal, and real. Because sugarcoating is what got us lost in the first place. So let's get into this thing. Turn your Bibles to Exodus 16, 1 through 3. We read, "And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, Would to God we had died by the hand of Yah in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger." Boy, I tell you. So here we are, family. Israel just came out of Egypt. The Most High literally ripped apart the greatest empire on earth at that time for his people. He sent plagues. He split the damn sea. He drowned Pharaoh's army, all for Israel. And what happens? Just a month and a half later, the people start bitching and complaining. This is us, family. This is our spirit. We are quick to forget the miracles, quick to forget the deliverance, and we quick to point fingers when things get uncomfortable. Look at what they said. Would to God we had died by the hand of Yah in Egypt. You hear that, family? They are saying, we'd rather have died with full bellies in slavery than be delivered into freedom where we got to rely on Him. That's some twisted thinking, family. But it's exactly how we act today, right? Think about the Negroes in America, Brazil, the UK, Africa, wherever we at. We cry about oppression, poverty, police brutality, colonial scars, corrupt politicians. But as soon as someone tells us to trust the Most High and separate from this system, we start longing for Egypt again. We want the flesh pots, the fried chicken, the fast food, the damn Netflix, the sports entertainment, the little crumbs master throws our way. We'd rather have comfort in chains than discipline in freedom. Got football starting up again, huh? Our Israelites gonna be right there in front of the TV, chomping down on some nachos, some boneless wings, hot sauce galore. Sitting in front of the TV, for damn near 12 hours watching a bunch of grown, sweaty men tackle each other. Homosexual activities. And they ain't gonna bat an eyelid. Tell them, hey, read this Bible, man. Ain't anybody got time for that. But you got time to sit your fat ass in front of the TV for 12 hours a day and watch this stupid ass sport about nothing. Glorify slavery on the TV for 12 hours a day. But you ain't got time for the Most High Yah. Look at our history, family. After slavery, when some of our people had the chance to build their own communities, like Tozer's Black Wall Street, Rosewood, or the Maroon Villages in the Caribbean, what did a lot of us do? We still ran back the master system. We begged to integrate. We begged to be a part of their schools, their businesses, their churches, instead of building our own under Yah's laws. That's the same spirit we see right here in Exodus 16. Numbers 11, 4-6. Israel complained again later about the food, saying, we remember the fish, cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic we had in Egypt. But now our soul is dried away. They wanted slavery's food more than freedom's responsibility, family. That's us today, with McDonald's and Walmart instead of self-sustaining farms and businesses. Look what Solomon says in Ecclesiastes 7:10. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. The Most High says, stop looking back at slavery like it was better just because you had a fucking meal. And then when he came down as Christ, John 8:33-34, when Christ told our people they were in bondage, they said we were never in bondage to any man. That's our delusion, family. We'd rather deny reality and cling to illusions of comfort than face truth. Look at 2025, family. Our people in the ghettos worldwide would rather take government welfare, food stamps, and handouts than build their own independence. We'd rather be full in poverty than hunger while struggling toward real liberation. Our people in Africa, same damn thing. They'd rather let China, Europe, and America strip their lands in exchange for a little infrastructure, a little bread, than endure the wilderness of building their own nations back up. This is Exodus 16, family, repeating itself. We're still murmuring, still complaining, still longing for Egypt, whether it's America, Brazil, the UK, or Africa. And until we break that fucking spirit, we'll keep wandering in the wilderness of oppression. Why do you think it said the wilderness of sin, family? Right there, of sin. Because are we not in the wilderness of sin right now? All this sin around us. So closing out this particular section, family, let's keep it real. Our biggest enemy ain't the white man, ain't the Arabs, ain't the Chinese. Our biggest enemy is our own damn mindset, our own murmuring spirit. We kill ourselves with this longing for Egypt, and the Most High ain't having it. So let's continue to section 2 here, verses 4-8, where we see how God deals with this complaining spirit and what that means for us in 2025, family. 4-8. Then said Yah unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather. Oh, got lost a little bit. Shall gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, at even, then ye shall know that Yah hath brought you out from the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of Yah, for that he heareth your murmurings against Yah. And what are we that ye murmur against us? And Moses said, this shall be when Yah shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full, for that the Lord heareth your murmurings which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against Yah. Now pay attention right here, family. The Most High is showing mercy But he's also setting a damn test. He said, I will rain bread from heaven that I may what? Prove them. That word prove, family, means test. Israel thought their complaint was just about food, but Yah saw deeper. He wanted to see if they would obey him when he gave them instructions. That's heavy, family, because today in 2025, we still crying about jobs, money, rent, food, education, but the Most High is watching how we react in our struggle. Are we going to lean on him and obey his word, or are we just going to whine like spoiled children and run back to Egypt, run back to the white man, run back to the China man, run back to the India man, run back to the white man, and so on and so forth? And most of our people, they're doing the latter, family. They don't know how to trust in Yah because they can't see him. They don't want to have faith. They want to be able to see it. But verse 5 is key, family. He said, on the 6th day, ye shall prepare double. That's the Sabbath test. Already he's showing them, I'm not just feeding you. I'm teaching you how to live as my people. My laws matter. See, Israel wanted blessings without the discipline. They wanted deliverance without obedience. Same as us today around the earth. We want reparations. We want freedom. We want emancipation from systems of white supremacy. But we don't want to keep the commandments that make us holy. The Most High ain't about to feed your belly without feeding your spirit, family. And that is the point. He's trying to get us to understand. When things get tough, family, your character shows. Are you going to lean on him? When you lose that job, are you going to lean on him, or you going to run back to Egypt, begging them instead of leaning on him and allowing him to provide for you? Most of y'all going to run like the scared dogs y'all are. Look at verse 7 and 8 here. This is where Moses checks Israel's dumbass attitude right here, family. He basically says, you think you're mad at me and Aaron, but you're actually talking shit against the Most High. This hits home so hard, family, because every time our people complain about leaders who try to bring truth, whether it's pastors teaching the commandments, brothers on the street corner bringing the word, or even elders trying to guide families, we're not really complaining against them. We rejecting the Most High Yah. You think you're mad at the messenger, but really you're disrespecting the one who sent him. That's why Christ said in Luke 10 and 16, he that heareth you, heareth me. And he that despiseth you, despiseth me. And he that despiseth me, despiseth him that sent me. So when Negroes scoff at the Bible, mock the commandments, or roll their eyes at the idea that we Israel, they ain't just rejecting us, family. They rejecting the Most High Yah. And trust me, he hears every damn word. Now let's back this up with scripture. Deuteronomy 8:2-3 says, Yah thy Elohim led these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart. That's exactly what's happening here in Exodus 16. The wilderness was the testing ground. And this life we in right now, scattered in the nation, is our wilderness, family. James 1:2-4. The trying of your worth, the trying of your faith worketh patience. Israel was being tried to see if they trust Yah. And that same test is on us today. Will we keep the commandments under pressure? Matthew 6:31-33, Christ said, take no thought saying, what shall we eat? But seek ye first the kingdom of Yah in his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. That's the same message. Stop murmuring, black people. Obey first, and he will provide. That's why a lot of y'all ain't being provided for by the Most High Yah, because you don't know how to obey, and you don't know how to stop fucking complaining. Most High, keep it simple. Obey me, then I will give you what you need. But most of y'all don't want to do that because y'all say it's hard. It's hard to do it. Oh my God, it's so hard. Bunch of bitches. Whoopsie fucking daisy. Think about it, family. Right now in 2025, right now, right here, right now, we seeing food shortages, inflation, wars, governments are collapsing, climate change, quote unquote, disasters messing with the crops. The world is unstable as hell right now. People are panicking. In Israel, black people, scattered Negroes everywhere. We right back in Exodus 16. Some of us are saying, damn, I'd rather just stick with Babylon's system. At least I can get food stamps. At least I can get a job. At least I can get Uber Eats. But the Most High is saying, no, I'm testing you. Will you trust me when the economy crashes? Will you keep the Sabbath when the system tells you to work? Will you obey my laws or fold under pressure? And let's be real, family. Our murmuring ain't against Biden or Lula in Brazil or Rishi Sunak over there in the UK or the African presidents bowing to the IMF. Our complaining spirit is against the Most High himself, because he's the one who put us in this situation to test us. That's why the world going to hell in a handbasket, family. He's using it to test the black people, the Negroes. This test is for you. The other nations don't matter. They're just following his script that he has written for them. They do not matter, family. You are the main character. All complaining. Trying to choke myself here. Oh, man. You think cussing out the government, family? But really, you're cussing out Yah. That's dangerous ground right there, family. So y'all better get that shit correct. Now let me show you the symbolism of the bread from heaven, family. The bread represents more than food. Christ himself, Yahushua in the flesh. I'll get into that. Because I had got revelation on that as well. I will get into that in due time. But Christ himself said in John 6:31-35 that he is the true bread from heaven. The manna was symbolic of him. And just like in the wilderness, Israel had to decide whether to believe and obey. Today we got to decide if we're going to follow Christ's words, Yah's words, or keep craving Egypt's junk food. That's why so many of our people reject Christ as the Messiah, because they don't want the bread of life. They want Egypt's flesh pots, Babylon's comfort. But the Most High Yah ain't feeding rebellion. He's feeding obedience. So let's make this plain, family, to close out this section too. The wilderness ain't about comfort. It's about proving. The Most High gives us just enough to see if we'll follow his laws. And every time we whine and complain, we're not just talking trash about leaders or circumstances, family. We're spitting in the face of the one who saved us. Family, the lesson is this. Stop murmuring. Start obeying. Just shut the fuck up. Stop crying about what you don't have and start respecting the Elohim who's testing you for bigger things. So let's keep it moving to section 3 here, verses 9-12, where the Most High actually shows Israel his glory and answers their complaining with what? Provision. So let's read 9-12. And Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before Yah, for he hath heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of Yah appeared in the cloud. And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am Yah, your Elohim. So right here, Moses tells Aaron to gather everyone together. Come near before the Yah. That phrase is heavy, family, because it tells us something. The closer you get to Yah, the more your bullshit gets exposed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Israel thought they murmuring was just between themselves, but the Most High heard it all. He even showed his glory in the cloud to remind Israel who they were dealing with. It's like the Most High saying, y'all think you talking behind my back? Nah, I'm right here, nigga. I see everything, I hear everything, and I know the intentions of your heart. So let's modernize this, family, for today. Our people think Yah doesn't see our complaints, our hypocrisy, our backsliding. We think we can talk trash about him when things go bad, but still call on him when we are desperate. We think we can shout, Yah bless America, Yah bless Brazil, Yah bless Africa, while living wicked as hell in fornication, idolatry, and lawlessness. He sees it all, family. Ain't no hiding. Y'all need to get that through your thick skulls. Yeah, I think y'all can praise the Most High on Sunday, but you're watching porn on Monday. You're eating pork on Tuesday. You're fornicating on Wednesday. So on and so forth. Now, verse 12 is key here, family. Why? Because the Most High says, I have heard the murmurs. At even you shall eat flesh, and in the morning bread, and you shall know that I am Yah your Elohim. Here's the lesson that he wants you to learn, people. Yah provides, but he provides on his terms, not yours. He wasn't feeding Israel just to satisfy their belly. He was feeding them to teach them who he is. Every quail, every piece of manna was a reminder, I am Yah your Elohim. Not Pharaoh, not Egypt, not your own strength, me. You thought you was the one that got through law school, nigga? No, he did that. You thought you was the one who passed nursing school, sis? No, he did that. You got a promotion. You thought that was of your own merit? No, he did it. Ain't nothing in your life that you did on your own. The Most High did all of it. They ain't got no free will. You are running on rails, family. You're on a self-contained ride. You can't do nothing of your own accord. You may think you have that, but that's just the flesh's arrogance. The spirit knows. The spirit knows it ain't in control. The spirit knows, but the flesh fights it. You don't got no control over your life. You don't got control over your height, of how tall you are. You ain't even have control over if you was going to be born an Israelite or not. The Most High controlled if you were going to be born Israel or not. You could have been born a heathen, a deformed heathen with cancer, if it was up to his will. Every time we survive oppression, family, every time we make it out of situations we shouldn't have survived, whether it's slavery, Jim Crow, police brutality, apartheid, poverty, or genocide, it ain't luck, niggas. It ain't politics. It ain't our own resilience. It's the Most High saying, I'm still with Israel. The nations being want to exterminate us, but the Most High said, no, I will not cast you off. So let's reinforce this with scripture, family, to prove this. Psalm 78, 25-27 said, man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like after sand of the sea. The Most High literally overwhelmed Israel with food just to prove his power. Psalm 145, 15 and 16 says, the eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou givest them their meat in due season. You hear that? Due season. Thou openest thine hand and satisfiest the desire of every living thing. He's the ultimate provider. Not governments, not jobs, not welfare. Matthew 6 and 11. When he came as Christ, he taught us to pray. He said, give us this day our daily bread. That goes straight back to Exodus 16. Daily bread is trust in Yah's provision. Look around the world today, family. Our people in Haiti are starving and oppressed. Yet somehow they still standing. Our people in Nigeria, Congo, South Africa, Jamaica, Brazil, the U.S., ghettos. We've been through centuries of hell, and somehow we still here. You think that's by chance, family? You think it's because of politicians, NGOs, or the UN? Hell to the fucking no. That's the Most High feeding his people in the wilderness of the nations. But here's the brutal truth I want you to understand. Instead of recognizing him, we give the credit to massa, to politicians, to celebrities, to the damn system. When food stamps hit, we thank the government. When aid trucks show up in Africa, we thank the UN. When jobs barely pay enough to survive, we thank capitalism. That's the same as Israel looking at quail and manna and still murmuring. A bunch of bitches. The Most High is saying, I feed you so you'll know me. not so you'll worship Egypt. That's the point. That's the lesson. Will you get it through your thick skulls, black people? Now look at the symbolism of this cloud here. That cloud wasn't just for shade in the desert, family. It was the visible manifestation of his presence. That's symbolic for us today. The Most High's cloud over us is the fact that we are still distinct, still chosen, still surviving when every other nation tried to erase us. That's his glory hovering over Israel even in 2025. Family, the lesson in this section 3 is powerful. The Most High hears everything, your prayers, your praises, even your complaints. He provides not to spoil you, but to teach you who he is. So stop giving credit to Egypt for what Yah is providing. We need to recognize his glory in our survival, in our daily bread, in our very existence. Because let's be real, family. After all the slavery, lynchings, massacres, genocides, poverty, and oppression we have been through, the fact that the Negro still exists in 2025 is the biggest cloud of glory the Most High could show. And that's why the heathen are perplexed. They've tried to genocide us all throughout the centuries. They tried to get rid of us. They tried to get rid of us through eugenics, abortions, but we still multiplying and they can't get it while they are declining. Japan is on the verge of civilization collapse. Their population is not going to be able to sustain the numbers. Too many old people, not enough young people. And the young people ain't fucking. The men and the women ain't fucking. They're on the verge of extinction, family. That's Yah, while we still multiply. That's the judgment, family. Right there. That's the cloud of glory. So let's keep it rolling into section 4, where we actually see the manna and quail fall in Israel's reaction to it. 13 through 21. Ton of symbolism. So let's get into it. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness, there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna, for they wist not what it is, or what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which Yah hath given you to eat. This is the thing which Yah hath commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man, according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered, some more, some less. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moses said, let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it unto the morning. And it bred worms and stank. And Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. So verse 13, quail in the morning, or quail in the evening, manna in the morning. What does that mean? Evening equals the flesh, family, darkness. Morning is the bread, light. That's balance. The Most High gave them what they craved, meat, first. But then what they needed, bread from heaven. This shows us something about Yah's nature, family. It's the same thing about evening to morning. I taught y'all in Genesis 1. Evening to morning is a day. From the flesh to the bread. The balance. From flesh to spirit. This shows us something about Yah's nature. He'll sometimes give you what your lust desires just to expose you. But his main goal is to feed your spirit with what sustains life. In modern terms, family, let me show you what it means. Our people keep begging for flesh, right? Money, jobs, fame, degrees, material shit. The Most High may let you get some of it. But the true provision he wants you to have is the bread from heaven. Christ, the word, the commandments. So the evening flesh is a temporary satisfaction, the carnal cravings, but the morning bread is the eternal sustenance. Spiritual life As he said when he was Christ, John 6:35, I am the bread of life. Verse 14 and 15, the manna appears like frost, small, round, and mysterious. Israel didn't even know what it was. They literally said manna, which means, what is it? That's what manna means, family. They were clueless. That's symbolic, family, of how our people react to Yah's word today. We see it, but we don't understand it. We hear Christ's teachings, but we say, what is this? This can't be for us. We hear the prophets say we are Israel, and we go, nah, what is this? That's too deep. Have you guys not did that with your family? Nah, man, that's not about us. That's not about us. Christ didn't just come for us. He came for everybody. Came for everybody. We the only ones got covenant. Everybody God's children. The manna was humble. Not flashy, not glamorous, small, plain, simple sustenance. The same way when Yah came down as Yahushua. He came no flashy, humble man. That's the word of Yah. It ain't meant to entertain you. It ain't meant to look glamorous like Egypt's food. It's meant to sustain you. Think about how our people chase after Egypt's big flashy lies. Mega churches with lights, gospel concerts, prosperity preaching, Islam's pageantry, Afro spirituality with rituals and drama, going out to these conferences and whatever. But the true word, family, is simple. Keep the commandments, fear Yah, love your brother and your sister. That's manna. Plain, but life-giving. That's it. Walmart shirt and pants. But y'all want the Gucci. You want the Louis Vuitton. You want the Balenciaga. You want the Coach. You want the Mercedes-Benz, the BMW. But you don't want the Toyota RAV4, which is going to sustain you because it's going to last longer than your bullshit-ass Benz. I don't know how many times I've seen Benzes on the corner. Benzes on the expressway. Broken down BMWs. Broken down Jaguars. Broken down Range Rovers. Broken down. But you never know what I see? Toyotas. Toyotas. I drive a Toyota, family. The Most High made sure I got a boring ass car. He didn't want me to be flashy like I had my Cadillac. I was flossing with the Cadillac. He broke that shit. And humbled me and made me get a 2010 RAV4. No bells and whistles. None of that stuff. None of that bullshit. No Bluetooth. He allowed me to have automatic windows and seat recliners or whatever. He allowed me to have that. Sunroof. But it's a simple ass car. It ain't gonna turn heads. It ain't flashy, but guess what? It gets me to where I want to go. And I've had no problems with it, except for the water pump. I had to change. And I've been driving it for over 3 years. No problems outside of that. And some new tires. That's it. And oil changes. That's all I've done. When I hit that push to start button, I know it's going to start up. Because that's Yah's car. Verses 16 through 18 here. Everyone had exactly what they needed. This is powerful here, family. Why? Whether you gathered much or little, when it was measured out, everyone had enough. Nobody went without. Nobody had too much. That's divine equity here, family, that the Most High is showing you. The Most High was teaching us, our people. You don't need greed. You don't need hoarding. You don't need to compete with your brother. If you trust me, I'll make sure everyone has what they need. Our people today, we don't trust that. We hoard, we hustle, we exploit, we step on each other to get ahead in Babylon. But the Most High was showing us a kingdom principle. In his order, everyone is sustained equally. Nobody's starving, nobody is overstuffed. Plain and simple lesson, family. But too many of y'all are greedy as shit. Y'all want millions and millions. What the fuck you gonna do with millions? You ain't gonna be able to spend that. What you gonna do with it, Negro? Except blow it on dumbass shit. Like these rappers and celebrities do today. You ain't gonna feed your people with it. You ain't gonna do nothing to help your people with it. You gonna do it to further them, their economies. You gonna spend it on their clothes, their cars, their infrastructures. You ain't gonna make nothing of your own. They ain't gonna allow you anyways. You ain't finna give it out to the people. That's for sure. Because we hate our people. Because we hate our skin. We hate ourselves. When we look in the mirror, we see an ugly person. A person that don't deserve nothing. A person that's not worthy. So when you see somebody that look like you think you project that mindset onto them. They must be out to get me because that's what you think of your own self. 2 Corinthians 8, 13 to 15 here. Paul quoted this very passage to teach Israel in his day. He that gathered much had nothing over, and he that had gathered little had no lack. He was showing them that in Christ, in Yah, the system ain't about greed. It's about balance and care for one another. But also in Acts 4, 32 to 35, the early believers had all things common and shared resources, so what? No one lacked. Which goes right back to Exodus 16. Verses 19 through 20, basically saying don't hoard overnight. Moses told them, don't leave it till morning. Why? Because this was a test of faith. The manna was daily bread. You had to trust that tomorrow Yah would provide again. If you hoarded it, it was because you doubted Yah. Of course, Israel didn't listen. Some tried to stash it, and it turned rotten, breeding worms and stinking. That's symbolic of what happens when we try to hoard blessings instead of trusting the Most High Yah. Only get what you need, family. I buy food for the week, and I trust that the Most High will provide again the next week. But y'all hoard and buy fucking frozen meat, and y'all didn't even eat it. Sit inside your deep freezer for months, and you forget all about it. I buy food for the week. Because I know the Most High will provide, because I trust He will provide for me for yet another week. 7 days, perfect number. What are some modern examples we see of this today, family? Let's see here. Let's see. We hoard money. We definitely do that. Chasing wealth like it's gonna save them. But wealth spoils, family. Inflation eats it up, don't it? Banks collapse. Governments devalue. Look at the dollar. All them people got all that money inside stocks and investments and 401ks and all that. The dollar continues to go down, which means the value of your dollar continues to go down. You hoard it. Worms and stink, family. We hoard fame and status, but it rots. Look at our entertainers. They rich but broken. They overdosing. They depressed. They miserable. Worms and stink. We hoard food in the flesh. Overeating. Gluttony. Fast food addictions. And it turns into what? Disease. Diabetes. Heart disease. Worms and stink. I used to do that too. But now I eat kids' meals, family. Ooh, that's a hack right there. I eat kids' meals. You wanna know why? Because it fills me up completely for what exactly I need. Small portions. I eat just enough that I'm full. But I'm not overstuffed and getting the itis and falling asleep at work. I eat just enough. When I started doing that, family, I kept thinking, man, am I still hungry? But no. I was just full. That's how you're supposed to feel. You're not supposed to be like, oh God, I think I ate too much. You ain't supposed to feel like that. That's gluttony. Only eat what you need to eat. Everybody's stomach is the same size. But y'all eating like there ain't no tomorrow. But I trust him. I trust in Most High Yah that there will be tomorrow. And if it ain't, hey, it is what it is. I went out under His will. So the manna teaches us, family, take what you need for today. Trust Yah for tomorrow. Christ Himself connects this. Matthew 6 and 19 and 20. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Same principle. Don't hoard earthly manna. Trust the heavenly provision from Him. Now, verse 21, gather in the morning before the sun melts it. Look at the disciple built into this. You had to rise early, gather the manna before the sun burned it away. That's symbolic of diligence, discipline, and seeking Yah. If you were lazy, if you slept in, if you procrastinated, you missed your manna. That's exactly how it is with the word today, ain't it? If you don't seek him early, with focus, with urgency, with consistency, your chance slips away. Proverbs 8:17 tells you, I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Lamentations 3:22 and 23 also says, his mercies are new every morning. That's manna, family. Do you get it? Do you understand? But some of y'all get lazy with the word. You get complacent. You miss out on your manna. And your spirit goes hungry. Guess what happens when your spirit goes hungry, family? The flesh takes over. And next thing you know, you caught up in temptation and you doing some kind of sin. And now you're on your knees repenting. Because you got complacent. You got lazy. Whoopsie daisy. Look around, family. Our people worldwide are still chasing Egypt's flesh pots, still hoarding Babylon's crumbs, still lazy and seeking Yah's word. And we wonder why our blessings stink, why our lives rot, why our efforts melt away. But the manna teaches us, trust Yah daily. Stop stockpiling faithless insurance plans. Be content with enough. Stop competing with your brother. Oh, he got a Benz. Who gives a fuck? Let him drown in debt. Seek Yah early, diligently, before the opportunities melt away. So this manna wasn't just food. It was a sermon in edible form. Every bite said, trust me, obey me, depend on me. And Israel still struggled with it, just like us today. But remember, Christ is the manna, Yah himself, daily, humble, sustaining, eternal. If we chase him the way Israel chased flesh, we'd finally be full. Ain't that the truth, huh, family? So let's keep it going in section 5 here, verses 22 through 30, where the Sabbath is tested through the manna. One of the deepest symbolic lessons in the whole Torah. Let's go see it, huh? And it came to pass that on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, this is that which Yah hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yah. Take or bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade. And it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto Yah. Today ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And Yah said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that Yah hath given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. So verse 22, double portion on the 6th day. Here's where it gets deep here, family. On the 6th day, Israel gathered twice as much. But remember earlier, if they hoarded on any other day, it spoiled and stank. Why didn't it spoil here? Because the Most High was showing them something. When you keep his order, he blesses it. When you try to do things your own way, it rots. This is a spiritual law. Obedience preserves. Disobedience corrupts. Plain and fucking simple, family. Write that shit down. Obedience preserves. Disobedience corrupts. If you don't get anything from this lesson, get that. Look at our people's hustle culture today. We grind 7 days a week. We don't rest. We don't trust Yah to provide. And what happens? Burnout, depression, broken families, health problems. That's worms and stink, family. But when we move in his order, when we take the time to honor him and rest, he preserves us. Plain and simple. Verse 23 and 24 here. Bake what you need today. Keep what remains for tomorrow. Moses is teaching discipline here. Prepare ahead. Plan for the Sabbath. Don't live so reactive. Don't scramble when the day comes. That's symbolic of spiritual preparation. You don't wait until the Sabbath to suddenly find Yah. You prepare your spirit during the week so when the Sabbath hits, you are ready to rest in him. Because the Sabbath is a reminder of creation, as I told you back in Genesis 2. Yah himself rested. The Sabbath is a reminder of deliverance, because Israel was freed from slavery, so they no longer had to work 24/7 like Egypt demanded. The Sabbath is also a prophecy of the kingdom, the ultimate rest. So when Israel baked double on the 6th day, it was rehearsal for something greater. Trust in Yah for the kingdom rest. That's how simple it is, family. Nothing flashy. It's simple. 25 to 26. Eat it today. Don't look for it tomorrow. On the Sabbath, no manna fell. Why? Because Yah already gave enough. That's the message. I've already provided for you. Stop stressing. Stop scrambling. Stop chasing. Rest in what I've already done. Be content with what I have already given you. But are we like that today? Negroes worldwide are still slaves to Egypt's system. We hustle in America, Brazil, Africa, Europe, working ourselves to death. But Yah says, I provided enough. Trust me. Rest in me. But we don't. We keep chasing. We keep grinding. We keep stressing. And spiritually, it shows our distrust in him. Verse 27, some still went out together. This right here is Israel's spirit in a nutshell, family. Hard-headed, stiff-necked. Even at the clear. Man, I tell you how people crazy, bruh. Even after clear instructions, man. Some folks still went out to the Sabbath, on the Sabbath, looking for manna. And guess what? They found none. Dumbass niggas. That's symbolic of our people today. We still try to find life in Egypt's system on the Sabbath. Y'all go out to the malls. Y'all have cookouts, family reunions. Y'all working. Y'all watching football. Because you know college football comes on Saturdays. That's an ultimate test for the Negro man in one. College football comes on Saturday throughout the day. It's mainly on during the day. Some of y'all still watching. Even y'all niggas who claim they Israel. Y'all Israelites, y'all still turning on the TV, watching movies, watching TV shows. Y'all still cooking. Y'all do all of that. But spiritually, it's empty. You ain't finding manna in Babylon on Yah's day. I can guarantee you that. Nothing but sin is around. That's why Saturday night is the sin night. Verse 28. How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? This is the Most High's frustration with Israel. It's like he's saying, how long are y'all gonna keep disobeying? How long before you trust me? That's the same damn question he's asking us today. How long are we gonna keep breaking his commandments? How long are we gonna keep rejecting the Sabbath? How long are we gonna trust Babylon more than him? Jeremiah 17:21-22. God warned Judah not to bear burdens or sell goods on the Sabbath. They disobeyed, and that disobedience was one of the reasons for the Babylonian captivity that happened later. So when we break Sabbath today, we're literally repeating history. So verse 29 is simple. Stay home and rest. The Most High told him, abide every man in his place. On Sabbath, you don't go out chasing. You don't labor. You don't scramble. You keep still. That's spiritual too, because the Sabbath equals stillness. A day where we stop chasing flesh and just sit with Yah. But a lot of y'all can't sit with Yah. Y'all can't sit in that silence. Y'all can't self-reflect because y'all scared of the mirror that the Most High gonna hold up to expose your black ass. Psalm 46:10 tells you, be still and know that I am Yah. That's the Sabbath energy, family. Stop moving. Stop panicking. Stop grinding. Just know he is Yah. In verse 30, Israel rested. Finally, they got it right. They rested. That's the goal. Not just physically, but spiritually too. To learn to rest in Yah's provision. To trust him, to obey his order. So today, family, look at the Sabbath. It is countercultural. Babylon tells us, work harder, grind nonstop, no days off. But Yah tells us, work 6, rest 1. The Sabbath is liberation. Egypt worked us to death. The Sabbath says, you're free now. You don't have to be a slave anymore. The Sabbath is prophetic. It points forward to the kingdom when Yah returns as Christ and Israel rules the earth. That's the ultimate rest. So every Sabbath, when we keep it, we're rehearsing for the kingdom. Every time we say, nah, I'll work, I'll shop, I'll hustle, we're showing Yah we don't want his kingdom rest. We'd rather stay slaves in Egypt's grind. This whole section is a gut check, family. I know it hurts you because some of y'all still participating in it. The manna taught daily trust. The Sabbath taught covenant trust. Together they test whether we really believe Yah is our provider. And here's the brutal truth. Most of Israel today still fails this test. We're still out there chasing manna on Sabbath. We're still doubting his provision. We're still slaves to the system instead of resting as children of the kingdom. The Most High is asking us the same question he asked back then. How long will you refuse to keep my commandments? So let's move to the final section, huh? Section 6. The closing section where manna is memorialized and preserved as a testimony for future generations. And it reads, in the house of Israel, called the name thereof manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. And Moses said, this is the thing which Yah commanded. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. And Moses said unto Aaron, take a pot, and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it up before Yah, to be kept for your generations, as Yah commanded Moses. So Aaron laid it up before the testimony, to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years, until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is 10th part of an ephah. So verse 31, manna's taste, wafers with honey. This detail matters. Why? Because the manna wasn't bitter. It wasn't bland. It was sweet. The word of Yah is not meant to be a burden. It's meant to be sweet to those who obey it. As it says in Psalm 119:103, how sweet are thy words unto my taste, yea, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Revelation 10:9-10. John eats the little book, and it's sweet in his mouth. The sweetness of manna is the sweetness of Yah's word. When you truly digest it, that means you truly follow it and obey it. Even though it comes with discipline, when you embrace it, it is satisfying. Is it not, family? When you obey Yah's word, the provision, it tastes good. It feels good. You feel like $1,000,000. That's the sweetness. Verses 32 and 33, keeping Omer as a testimony. Why? Yah told Moses and Aaron to keep us pot of manna as a memorial for your generations. Why? Because Israel is forgetful as hell, as we know. We experience miracles, but we forget them tomorrow. So the Most High said, nope, I want a physical reminder that I fed your ass, so your children and grandchildren can see it. That manna in the pot was a testimony, a witness against Israel every time they doubted. Our testimony today, family, is the scriptures. This book is the pot of manna. It records every miracle, every provision, every promise. It's the evidence that Yah fed Israel and continues to feed us. Our survival as a people is also testimony. The world looks at us today, enslaved, scattered, oppressed, yet still alive, still strong, still multiplying. That's the evidence of the manna. We are the living testimony of Yah, that Yah sustains his people in the wilderness of the nations. So verse 34, laid up before the testimony. Later, this pot of manna was placed inside the Ark of the Covenant, right next to the tablets of the law, in Aaron's rod. That's symbolic because it means Yah's word, Yah's leadership, and Yah's provision all go together. You can't separate them. In other words, family, you can't say, I want Yah to provide for me, but reject his commandments. Nor can you say, I'll follow leaders, but despise the word. It's a package deal, family. You can't have one without the other. Verse 35, they had 40 years of manna. Israel ate that manna for 40 years until they crossed into Canaan. That's a lifetime, family. The Most High sustained millions of people every single day with supernatural provision. That's symbolic of how he sustains us in this long captivity. We've been in the wilderness of the nations for centuries, millennia even, if you count the Northern Kingdom. From the transatlantic slave trade in the 1500s until now. And yet we're still here. That's manna. And just like Israel, we won't stop eating manna until we hit the true promised land. The kingdom of Yah. Christ ruling. Him ruling. Until then, we are living on daily bread. Every day you survive is another day you ate the daily bread. And then verse 36, the measurement reminder. The text ends by telling us what an omer is. Why? Because the Bible is meticulous. The Most High wanted precision. Symbolically, it tells us God, the Most High, measures his provision exactly. He doesn't give random, sloppy blessings. He gives precise, intentional, daily sustenance. So now let's step back and see the whole picture, family. Exodus 16 is one of the greatest mirrors of Israel's mindset then and now. 1 through 3, Israel murmurs. They'd rather have slavery with food than freedom with discipline. Modern Israel today, the Negroes worldwide, still longs for Egypt, whether through welfare, capitalism, or assimilation, instead of enduring the wilderness of obedience. Verses 4 through 8, Yah says he's testing them with manna. The test is simple. Do you trust me daily, or do you complain? Same test today. Do we trust Yah's word, or do we whine about poverty, oppression, and lack? 9 through 12 says, Yah shows his glory and provides flesh and bread. The lesson, he hears our complaints, but his provision is about teaching us who he is, not just filling our bellies. Today, our survival as a people is a proof of his glory. 13 through 21. Manna falls. Daily bread. Gather enough for today. Trust him for tomorrow. Don't hoard. Don't be greedy. Don't sleep late. Lesson, discipline, trust, equality. Modern niggas today still fail this because we hoard, we overeat, we chase Babylon's crumbs. Our blessings rot. 22 through 30, the Sabbath test. Double portion on the 6th day. None on the 7th. What is that lesson? Rest, trust, obedience. Stop grinding like slaves. Because today we are still chasing money on the Sabbath. Still slaves to Babylon's hustle. Still refusing Yah's kingdom. And then 31 to 36, the manna was memorialized. Sweet as honey, preserved for generations, sustained for 40 years. Telling you to remember what he's done. Don't forget, pass it down. Our survival today is the living manna, the testimony that Yah still sustains Israel. So Exodus 16, family, is not just ancient history. It's our story right now. We're still murmuring in America, Brazil, the UK, Africa, the Caribbean, complaining about oppression, yet longing for Egypt's crumbs. We're still failing daily trust, chasing Babylon's jobs and governments instead of trusting Yah's provision. We're still breaking Sabbath, grinding 7 days a week, stressed, sick, enslaved because we won't rest in him. We're still ungrateful, forgetting what he's already done for us. But despite our failures, the Most High still feeds us. He still sustains us. We're still here. We're still multiplying. We're still chosen. That's manna. Family, Exodus 16 is a slap in the face. It shows Israel's ungratefulness, Yah's patience, and his discipline. It forces us to ask, do we want Egypt's flesh pots or Yah's bread from heaven? Do we want slavery's grind or Sabbath's rest? Do we want to hoard temporary junk or live by daily trust? Do we want to keep murmuring or finally obey? Because the manna was never just about food, it was about faith. And in today, the same test is in front of us. The wilderness ain't over. The kingdom ain't here yet. We're still being proved right now, family. Refined. We're still being refined. So let's pass the damn test this time, family, right? Let's pass the damn test. So we got to stop murmuring. Stop chasing Egypt. And start trusting daily. We got to keep the Sabbath. Remember the manna. And hold on. Because just like Israel reached Canaan, we too are marching toward the promised land with Christ leading the way. And with that, I end my lesson, my sermon. All praise and great glory to the Most High Yah for giving out this word. Allow me to give out this word, this wisdom to our people today. May you guys eat this daily bread. Eat this word. May it be sweet to you as you consume it and apply it to your daily life. Because today, family, we are still in the refiner's fire. We are still being proved. This ain't the time to relax and be complacent. It's a time for obedience. So with that being said, family, I pray you guys enjoy another week in Yah. May you be safe. May you be blessed. Be safe. Continue to obey the word. Continue to look into this word. Continue to trust in him. I leave you with a song off my new album. If you haven't heard it yet, go take a listen. It's on YouTube Music now. Go look it up. The Day of Yah. This particular song is called The Refiner's Fire. Because that's what we in, family. Listen to the lyrics. Don't just nod your head to the beat. Listen to what I say. Listen to what is being said here. Until then, next time, family. I love y'all. Be easy. Y'all bless.
But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire. Through the flames of tribulation, walking through this purification. Every trial makes us stronger, every test makes us wonder no longer. 7 times through the furnace, like gold we emerging with purpose. Breaking chains of false doctrine, finding truth in ancient wisdom. What don't break us makes us pure. Every wound becomes a cure. Every tear a precious stone. Every scar leads us home. Refiner's fire, burning away the dross, making us pure. Whatever the cost. Refiner's fire, Christian teaching, burn away that Sunday preaching, melt down every pagan idol till we standing like our tribal. Nations mock us while we burning, but the flame just keeps us learning who we are and why we chosen, breaking chains that kept us frozen. Through the heat of persecution, finding perfect resolution in the laws we kept forsaken. Now our spirits finally waking. The third shall come through the fire, be refined as silver is refined, tested as gold is tested. They shall call on his name, and he will answer. Every trial got a purpose, every pain makes us more perfect. Babylon can't break our spirit, truth so loud we gotta hear it. Watch the dross rise to the surface, skimming off what ain't our purpose, till we shine like ancient mirrors, reflecting light to all our hearers. Each degree of heat revealing parts of us that need some healing, till we stand like pure gold gleaming, kingdom children finally beaming. Let it burn, let it purify, let it teach us who we are inside. Refiner's fire, burning away the dross, making us pure, whatever the cause. Refiner's fire, separating gold from clay, till we reflect his image day by day. The silver ain't pure on first melt, gotta burn till the master's eyes see himself. 7 times through the flame we go, till every spot and wrinkle has to go. When the process finally over, standing strong like soldiers sober, ready for the king's inspection, showing forth his true reflection. Every trial had its reason, every test marked its season. Now we understand the burning, why the flame kept on turning. Look at what the fire made us, how the heat has now displayed us. Royal priesthood, holy nation, standing firm in our salvation. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and we'll refine them as silver is refined, and we'll try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, this is my people. And they shall say, yeah, is my power.